If you were to ask me what my favorite WWE PLE is, I would say the Royal Rumble. I have always loved watching the Royal Rumble, simply because I would argue the most unexpected show that WWE does. Meaning the Royal Rumble is just such a wild card, and there's usually not a lot to go off of as to who is going to win and who's going to lose. You obviously don't know who is going to get eliminated, you don't know who is going to win, while it feels like with other shows you can get a rough guess as to who you think is going to win. But to me, it just feels like the Royal Rumble is just so unpredictable because anything can happen because there's so much going on throughout the course of a Royal Rumble match. I also love the Royal Rumble because it is the start of the road to WrestleMania, and it largely dictates where the WWE is going from here on out. And I do think that WWE has some work to do if they want to outdo themselves from last year's road to WrestleMania. And if you are new around here, and this is perhaps the first video that you're seeing, we do a PLE preview for all of the WWE Premium Live events. And how they work is we go through the matches, we pick who wins, we pick who loses, we try to guess what stories come from the outcomes. So, that is what this video is here. This is the official Royal Rumble 2025 PLE preview. Starting off with the WWE Tag Team Championship match, which is a 2 out of 3 falls match between DIY and Motor City Machine Guns. Now, I will say, I have been a much bigger fan of DIY since they officially made the heel turn. And I think what won me over was just how brilliant that heel turn was from DIY. I thought it was done perfectly, and I really think that that elevated them and really helped them and wanted people to see them finally. They've never been bad on the main roster, but when you go back and you look at what they were on NXT Black and Gold, you want that tag team back. You want that DIY. And I do think that we are slowly kind of getting our way back there. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that they are going to be just as good, if not better, than what they were on NXT Black and Gold. While I do not think that they're going to get that good, I still do think that they are going to be a very good tag team moving forward. And the feud that they have had between them and Motor City Machine Guns has been really fun so far. I do have the Motor City Machine Guns winning and defeating DIY in this match. And I could sit here and really try to dig deep as to why I think they're going to win, but I think there's one real simple answer here. I think they're going to win because they're still relatively new in the WWE, and having them win the championships on a major PLE is really going to attract the eyeballs of someone possibly in AEW or with TNA, and how this whole new TNA partnership is working. So I do think that Motor City Machine Guns is going to win. I think it's going to be a fantastic match, and I'm really curious to see how they go about the 2 out of 3 falls. Next up, we've got Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship in a ladder match. And I'm going to start by saying this. I really want Kevin Owens to win this match. I've said it before that Randy Orton is my all-time favorite WWE superstar. Kevin Owens is number 2. When I first got into WWE, Kevin Owens was one of my early favorites to watch. And this is not me saying all of this because I am a Kevin Owens fan, but Kevin Owens has been right this entire time. Kevin Owens should be mad at Cody Rhodes for teaming up with the guy who legitimately tried to end Kevin Owens' career. Everything that Kevin Owens has said up to this point has pretty much been right. And I just love the way that Kevin Owens delivers his promos. The recent promo that we got from Kevin Owens on Saturday night's main event was absolutely brilliant. While I do kind of agree with Shawn Michaels that he did kind of sound jealous a little bit, it's the passion that Kevin Owens brings with his promos that just win me over every single time. And I think another thing that has made Kevin Owens more likable is his promo with Sami Zayn recently, where he was still Sami Zayn's friend and wanted him to win the Royal Rumble this year. I just think that there has been so many layers to Kevin Owens throughout this feud, and this is not me bashing Cody Rhodes in any way. I am a Cody Rhodes fan. I don't want him to fail at all. But when it comes to a feud like this, I do just think Kevin Owens is right. Now, in saying all of that, I still do think that Cody Rhodes is going to win this match. So let's face it, Cody Rhodes is the golden boy of the WWE. Like Kevin Owens had mentioned, Cody Rhodes is on all the billboards, he's on all the production trucks, his face is everywhere when you talk about the WWE. And I just do not see Cody Rhodes losing this match. And especially with the recent promo that we got between him and CM Punk on Monday Night Raw, where, I'm not gonna lie, Cody Rhodes kinda sounded like a little bit of a heel there. And I would actually love to see a Cody Rhodes heel turn. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would absolutely be on board for it. So while I do want to see Kevin Owens win, I do ultimately think it's going to be Cody Rhodes getting the victory. And my one prediction for this match is going to be this. Whoever loses, whether it's Cody Rhodes or Kevin Owens, are most likely going to enter the Royal Rumble. It would not shock me at all if, say, Kevin Owens ends up losing and we see him later on in the Men's Royal Rumble. So that is my one major prediction that I do think is going to happen. Whoever loses this match is going and entering the Royal Rumble. And I do think that that somebody will be Kevin Owens, because I do have Cody Rhodes winning and defending the undisputed WWE Championship. Moving right along to the Women's Royal Rumble match. A match that I am very, very excited about, because in recent memory, the Women's Royal Rumble matches have kind of been a little bit better than the Men's Royal Rumble match. And I'm very curious to see what we get throughout the course of this match, because there are a ton of storylines for almost every single person who is declared for the Royal Rumble this year. We have Bayley, who is tied up in a storyline with Roxanne Perez right now, and we did get a little bit of a tease between Bayley and Io Sky. You've got Bianca Belair, who is tied up in the whole Naomi and Jade Cargill storyline. And this is the storyline that I'm most excited to see play out, because I do think that there is a really good chance that we get the answer as to who took out Jade Cargill. And I think there is a very good chance that it is Naomi. And something else that I think we could get from this little storyline in here is the possible match coming between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Because you have to imagine that Jade is gonna be a little bit pissed that Bianca just kind of replaced her really quickly. Taking a look at who I think could possibly win this year's Women's Royal Rumble match, and I only really landed on one that I could really see winning this year, and that's a returning Charlotte Flair. And I do have Charlotte Flair as a possible winner, because Charlotte Flair wins big matches. And especially when she is returning for said big match, I think that there's a very good chance that she could win. And if she does win, I think we could very well see her go after Rhea Ripley, where we could see a rematch of their WrestleMania 39 match. Because I think a lot of people tend to forget just how damn good that match really was. And I do think that it would have a lot of people on board. On the other side of the coin, you have Tiffany Stratton waiting in the wings. And I think a lot of people would actually really like to see Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. I wouldn't necessarily go as far as calling it a dream match, but I do think the majority of WWE fans would be all on board about seeing a Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair build to WrestleMania 41. But in saying all that, I don't think Charlotte wins it. I think she simply has a very, very good chance of winning it, but who I actually have winning is Io Sky. And I picked Io Sky largely because it seems like every match that Io Sky is in, she outshines everybody in the match. I think Io Sky is simply unbelievable in the ring. And I do think that if she wins this match, we could finally get the match that we've been teased about for quite some time now, and that's a match between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. We've gotten several backstage segments, stare downs between the two. They've planted the seeds for this match, and that's why I ultimately think that it's going to be Io Sky. And outside of the little segment that we got between Io and Bayley on the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw, she really doesn't have anything else going on. So I do think that Io Sky could win, and we finally get the match that everybody has been waiting for, and that's Rhea Ripley and Io Sky at WrestleMania 41. Moving on to the men's Royal Rumble match. And I'm not going to lie, there are a lot of people that I could see winning this year's Royal Rumble. The couple that I have is one being Seth Rollins. We did just get a promo between Gunther and Seth Rollins, which maybe we get that, maybe we don't. And something that Seth Rollins did mention was the possible match between him and Cody Rhodes. And I think it would kind of be poetic in a way because it was Seth Rollins who helped Cody Rhodes win the Undisputed Championship at last year's WrestleMania. Another possible winner that I have is Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre has recently been on the Bloodline quest where he's just hellbent at taking out the entirety of the Bloodline. And while I do think it is rather unlikely for Drew McIntyre to win, I still do think that there is a legit possibility of him winning. I could absolutely see a world where Drew McIntyre wins. And something that is worth mentioning, he has already won a Royal Rumble in his career, but he still really hasn't gotten that WrestleMania moment. So I do think that there is a legit possibility that Drew McIntyre could win. However, I do think it is rather unlikely. The next one I have is Roman Reigns, simply because it's Roman Reigns. Kind of how I talked about Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte Flair always winning big matches, Roman Reigns kind of always wins big matches. It is also Roman Reigns' first time being in a Royal Rumble in quite some time, and I think a lot of people are going to want to see him in there for a long time. Whether he enters in the beginning or towards the end, I still think that Roman Reigns is a legit threat to win this year's Rumble. And the last possible winner that I have is John Cena, and simply because it's kicking off John Cena's retirement tour. While I do not think that John Cena is going to win this year's Rumble, I do think that we are going to get the first feud of the Cena retirement tour. And you could make an argument for pretty much everybody in this year's men's Royal Rumble match. But I ultimately landed on one guy, and that one guy is CM Punk. Obviously, last year's Royal Rumble, CM Punk was the last to be eliminated from Cody Rhodes. We obviously just had a promo between him and Cody Rhodes, similar to what we had last year before the Royal Rumble. And let's not forget, the big factor in all of this is CM Punk's favor from Paul Heyman. Now, we still can only speculate on what that favor is going to be, but it very well could be related to the Royal Rumble. And overall, I think CM Punk just makes so much sense, because considering the work that he did with Drew McIntyre for the majority of 2024, I really think that he has earned it. And obviously, people are going to want to see CM Punk win the Royal Rumble, because I think, it would just be an awesome moment to see. People, I think, would absolutely love it, because CM Punk is one of the most beloved superstars that WWE has today. So I do think that CM Punk is going to win this year's men's Royal Rumble. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of my predictions for this year's Royal Rumble? Do you agree with my picks? Do you not agree with my picks? Who would you like to see win this year's Royal Rumble for both the men's and women's side? And also let me know what kind of surprise entries you think we could get this year, because that's something that makes the Royal Rumble what it is, in the surprise entries. And with this new partnership with TNA, who knows who we could get. So, as always, let me know all that stuff down below in the comments. And while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That link will take you to all of the social medias for this channel, and I do suggest going and checking out our X page. Besides YouTube, I am most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. Now, I will say that there are some Fridays and Saturdays that I am just busy and cannot provide the updates for Monday Night Raw and some of the PLEs. But this upcoming Friday and Saturday is not one of those times, so I will be available for updates on Friday Night SmackDown and updates for this year's Royal Rumble. Above all else, I want the X page to be a place for wrestling fans to go and talk about wrestling, especially if you're like me You don't have a lot of people to talk to about wrestling. Watching wrestling by yourself is fun, but it's even better when you have people to talk to about it and nerd out about it. So if you are like me and you're looking for a group of wrestling fans to just talk about wrestling, swing by an upcoming episode of Monday Night Raw or swing by the Royal Rumble this Saturday. I encourage you to join in on the conversations, and maybe it's for you at the end of the day. Now that all of that is said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, because both are free and both help out the channel a lot. And if you've made it to this point of the video, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here. And as always, stay tuned for more content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.